This is Swiss and Chips, your British guide to Switzerland. Hello and welcome to Swiss and Chips. I'm Jo.
And I'm Simon.
And today we thought we'd answer some of the questions that have been coming into our Facebook group, Switzerland for English Speakers. There's been loads of people writing very interesting questions, some of which are quite difficult to answer over the past couple of weeks. And we thought it would be quite a good idea to talk about a few of them.
Yeah, I think we asked all the time, send us your questions, write us an email and so on. And we got some emails and we got some questions on our Facebook group. And we don't have so much time to cover them all or to reply to everyone. And that's why we thought, let's just make a show and talk about as many as possible and give you some... give you some replies where we can. So, for example, today we talk about...
Yeah, well, the first one I thought we would answer is about the number of rooms that there are in apartments. The second one was about this difference between how you say hello to people in different parts of the country. Another question we had, which was about what the different public holidays are and how they differ from place to place. And then we'll have a small section at the end where there are other questions.
Yeah,
We're not talking about what is the meaning of life, but more like taxes and stuff.
Yeah, well, for a Swiss, that is the meaning of life.
Yes, so I've heard. Okay, so the number of apartment rooms. Natalie asked in our Facebook group, Switzerland for English Speakers, how many rooms a two-bedroom flat is. And that is quite an existential question, actually. If you live in Switzerland, you'll know what I mean, because I find myself in the situation where I'm still not quite sure how many rooms my own apartment has. Simon, I'm opening up the floor to you on this one.
Well, I would say not every Swiss knows the answer to that question.
Thank goodness for that. I thought I was going to be passport denied for admitting that in public.
But everyone has an opinion.
Ooh, juicy.
No, it's a very clearly defined, and I had to look it up, and it's by the Bundesamt für Sowieso.
Oh, yep, love them.
Like, what does that mean in English?
Federal Office for something?
Yeah, housing.
Oh, Federal Office for Housing, yep.
Yeah. It's very clearly defined how many square meters and so on, which is counted and which not. Mm-hmm. But there is a more natural definition is on immoscout24.ch. It's a very famous platform for rental homes, and they say every room is counted that you can live in. So like the living room, bedrooms, but also office rooms. How do you say that? Like working rooms.
Or a study or a reading room.
And then also, for example, a living room that has a kitchen included is also normal room.
Oh, yeah, when it's like a kitchen diner.
Exactly.
For example,
yes.
That's a big room where the kitchen is and there's space to sit down and eat.
Yes.
Or maybe you have a sofa there.
Exactly.
Right, and that's one room, did you say? Or we haven't got to that bit yet.
That's theoretically one room.
Right.
If it is a bigger room, so if there is space to eat, especially in that living room, for example. So you have a living room, you have a kitchen, and it's a bit of space to put a table there to eat. Then it's a 0.5. So the 0.5 in general is, as a rule of thumb, is like a bigger room.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have an entree, or how do you say that?
Entrance hall?
Yeah, that is very big, quite large, where you can put stuff, then that can also count as a half room.
So hang on, you mean, when you say stuff, you mean like an armchair? Or
yeah, something like that.
Do you mean a bookshelf, for example?
I think, from the top of my head, it's something like 6 square meters or something like that. So basically, I would say and the same thing. Let's put it the other way around. For example, also a kitchen. If a kitchen is separate, then it's not counted, except if it's a bigger kitchen. So if you can put like a table inside to eat, and there I think it's 6 square meters or something like that. But yeah, so if you have a very tiny kitchen, it's not counted. But if it's like biggerish, where you can eat maybe breakfast in there, then it's a 0.5. And if you have a normal living room, normal size living room, then it's a normal room. But if it's additional big, for example, together with the kitchen, and you can eat there, then it's a 0.5. See what I mean?
So it's a 1.5 then.
Yes, 1.5.
Okay.
So as our flat has a kitchen with where you can eat, we have a 0.5.
So that's a
Additional.
1.5.
Yes. No, the kitchen is a 0.5.
Okay. Now I'm with you. See, I told you I don't know how many rooms
But if
this
the
flat
kitchen
has.
would be in the living room, the living room would be counted 1.5
Got it.
because it's bigger.
I see.
But if the kitchen would be in the living room, but there is no additional space, then it's only one room. Mm-hmm. So
I see. And do you know why this is so confusing for us? Do you know that in the UK, for example, we classify things like a 1-bedroom flat or a 3-bedroom house?
no.
That's how we do it. That's why when we come here, we just think, I have no idea what that
but
is.
3-bedroom house means like when you have a huge kitchen, it's just not counted.
We don't mention it, no.
Okay.
I mean, they might say in the description, plus a giant-sized kitchen or something.
I see.
But
Yeah.
the thing that we're interested in sort of like as the first search function is how many bedrooms.
So if you have a 3-bedroom flat, that means you can have 2 bedrooms and 1 office, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically it's exactly the same here, except if you have something that is bigger, you have like like I said, the bigger kitchen is the usual thing. Then it's a 0.5.
Yeah. And there are actually some quite interesting answers in our Facebook group about this. Somebody wrote in there that what you can do is detract 1.5 from the number, and then you'll know how many bedrooms, I'm saying in inverted commas, you have.
1.5, she said. Yeah, it's kind of true. If you have one, so you take away the 1 living room and then you have bedrooms.
Yeah.
It's true, yes. But you also count the living room as a bedroom.
No,
So if
it's
you
really
have,
just bedrooms.
So if you have in England, I rent a 3-bedroom flat, that might be you don't even have a living room.
No, they always have a living room.
Okay.
It's really, bedroom means rooms for sleeping in.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, with us it's just basically it's the bedroom and can be office and living room, all shared places.
Yeah.
Not counted as the bathroom and the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Oof.
So,
I mean, you would hope every flat has a bathroom.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's BYOB.
Bring your own bathroom.
Yeah, just kidding.
Or bring your own baby tub.
Yeah, that as well. Bring your own, yeah. Good. So,
And other replies, there were several replies. So, yeah, they said sometimes it's different by canton. I'm not sure about that, I must say. I always thought it's the same, and I couldn't find a difference on these websites I mentioned before. But that might be true. But
it's true, yeah. Nigel wrote, in particular, a large hall can be classed as a half room. And I think that's been something that's quite confusing for me because, I mean, that hall would have to be extremely huge for you to be able to do something with it other than using as a hall, I think.
What is a hall exactly?
That kind of
entrance.
it can either be the kind of entrance zone
Yeah.
or the sort of corridor in between
yeah.
the rooms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that can be theoretically, but it must be large. Yeah, that you can really put some kind of like table inside, or yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Jeston said that a sitting or dining room which is larger than a normal room can also kind of add to the 0.5 situation. But I think that's something you already said.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, there is a clear definition, but I don't know if anyone knows it really. So probably the owners of the houses, they must have it written down somewhere when they built the house. That's why they know it roughly, but it can be always a bit different. So if you read, I have a 3.5 bedroom or a 3.5 flat, then no one exactly knows what the 0.5 means. It just means you have 3 rooms for sure, and the 0.5, it's a surprise when you go and visit it.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Okay, so the second question in this question answering episode is all about the differences in greetings or saying hello in German-speaking Switzerland. And this has got quite a long backstory to it, actually. I think it was a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about how to say hello in Swiss German.
Yes.
And we were talking about the difference between how you say it in different places. And what followed was a big discussion on our Facebook group.
Yeah, I said, because I said in Wallis for grüezi.
Which is hello.
Yeah, hello in a formal formal hello,
Yep.
right? Grüezi is in Berndeutsch is grüß dich. And in Wallis,
In Valais.
in Valais, they say dag wohl. And then there was a big discussion, which or most of the people in the group said, well, grüezi and grüßig is the same. But I can definitely say, as someone from the canton of Bern, it's not the same. I totally understand that it sounds almost the same, but it's just a big difference for us. And
Yeah.
it's quite funny because I discussed it also at work with a colleague of mine, and she was also, oh no, this is totally not the same.
Swiss colleague.
Yeah, and I mean it's really a pronunciation difference, but it's that basically that separates us, and you can just hear it while talking. That's why it's so important to us that we mention that it's different. But yes, I agree, it's basically the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I
still
know what you mean.
what I mean.
Yeah, and the Tagvol thing is also interesting because I wasn't aware of this word's existence until our podcast episode. But luckily, you know someone from the Canton of Valais,
Well,
and you could
yeah.
double check with them. Hey, you're still saying this thing, right?
Yeah, well, I lived there for 6 years, and my sisters lived there for 6 years, and it's not so long ago, like maybe 15 years ago, 12 years ago. And yeah, we use it all the time. It's just the word for grüß dich. It's a formal hello. And my sister, she still works there, and I have a friend who lives
there.
Yes, and I double checked because I was quite surprised about someone in the group says, "Oh, I'm there all the time, and I've never heard it." So I went back and said, "So you still say it, right?" And my sister said, "Yes, every kid comes every day and greets me like that." So, and a friend of mine also said, "Yeah, we use it all the time. It's
Okay.
just the normal word to use it there."
Fantastic. I think I'm actually off to Canton Valais this week, right?
Yes,
Good.
tomorrow.
So
You
I can test
check-
it out.
yeah,
Ooh, that's going
totally.
to be exciting.
You can just go in and say "Dagwol."
Dagvol!
Yeah, they'll definitely say it back.
Okay.
Obviously, there are also other ways they say just hello or
Yeah.
ciao or salut or things like that. But the formal thing for grüß dich is Dagwol. Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. So last week we had a public holiday in Switzerland, which I think brought up the issue of public holidays in this country and why on earth everybody doesn't have the same.
Yeah, who knows?
Tell me that, you Swiss
And so
person.
also this is like a very, because of our complicated setup of the country, I think. So basically we have the country and there are laws that are ruled by the,
At a federal level.
yes. Then on a canton level, we have some things that we can rule. It's like narrowing it down, basically.
Yep.
And then even on
City or communal
Yeah.
level also.
or even a bit, there is something in between. It's called a Bezirk. For example, we have Bern and then Oberland Ost and Oberland West and so on. Yeah, it's-
Area. We'll
yeah.
go for that general word.
Exactly. So all these things have a bit
District,
of
sorry.
Exactly. And then all down till to like basically villages.
But I think the important thing to notice, and you'll probably get used to it after a year or so in Switzerland, I think, is that the different cantons have different holidays. And a lot of people work in one canton and live in a different one, which means that you may have to go to work on a day when everyone at home has the day off.
I'm coming to that. So basically, this different setup means there are different rules per canton and then sometimes even on a lower level per village. So, and this also is also true for public holidays. So we have only one official public holiday. It's the 1st of August.
Hooray!
Yeah, and that's because...
It's the founding day of Switzerland.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
It's question 1 of your I want a Swiss passport test. It is?
It's the day that Switzerland was founded.
Yes. We have that as an official holiday that must be for everyone in Switzerland. But then on the canton level, we have some other holidays that are in all cantons the same. So, for example, it's New Year's Eve and Christmas
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. And yeah, exactly, New Year's Eve, not New Year's Day and Christmas Day. And yeah, there are others, but they are usually on a Sunday, like Easter. And then we have different days per canton, like
Knabenschießen?
Well, Knabenschießen is very special because it's in Zurich an event, but many of these bank holidays are based on religious
Festivals?
So if you are Catholic or
Yes, Protestant.
yeah, so that's why some have these and some have more, some have others, and so on and so on. But it's
True,
also on a
yes.
federal level. It's said how many you can have and how many you can have that are exactly like a Sunday, and how many you can have that are like a Sunday but with some slightly different rules. So some can work, some can't, and stuff like that.
Gossip.
Very difficult and very specific. But basically, all you have to know is where you work. Go and check out which days are.
Bank holidays.
Yes.
And there's a calendar where you can look them all up in English as well and
Yeah.
find out what the names are, which is
Exactly. Yes. So look that up. And also, it's the same like you said, is for school holidays.
fantastic.
Yeah. Confusing and fantastic.
We could describe Switzerland like that. We had a lot of questions in our Facebook group about finance, bank accounts, and taxes. I mean, taxes are extremely confusing and difficult, I think, at first, which is probably why so many people are asking about it. But if you
And not only at first.
okay, forever.
Yeah, forever and will be and must be.
Yeah, but if
Otherwise, you make it wrong.
yeah, definitely. That's a good rule of thumb. So if you do have a question about one of those issues, I would say post it in our Facebook group, Switzerland for English Speakers, and I'm sure someone can help you out with that. Based on what I've seen so far, there's a lot of intelligent people in the group who know about these
Yeah,
things.
it's crazy. There were loads of experts, I must say, and loads of helpful people. So a big thank you to everyone who
Yes, indeed.
asks questions, and also to everyone who replies, because there's really helpful replies. And with taxes in general, I would say if you don't know and you're not sure, just go and get someone who can do it for you at least the first 1 or 2 years.
And then you'll at least see how it's done.
Yeah, because
True.
now you can do it online, and you will get the print copy. Afterwards, someone has done it for you, and then you're on the safe side. For the first year, you pay maybe 100-200 francs for it, and then afterwards you can just have a look how he or she has done it, and then copy it from there.
Hooray. If you've got a specific question, you can also send us an email, which is something that Peter did. He sent us a message to hello@swissandchips.com. That's the address if you want to do the same. He was actually planning his wedding at the time, which should have taken place by now. So, Peter, how did it go? Let us know. And if anyone else has gone through that complicated process of getting married, tell us how it went.
Yeah, he basically said we should make an episode about it, but the thing is, we are not married, and
We've never planned a wedding.
yeah, yet so it's quite difficult. But Peter, if you listen to this show, I mean,
We'd love to know how it worked out.
yeah, and maybe you can, be part of it for one episode and explain everything. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Good. So I think we're done for this week. If you've got other questions, post in the Facebook group or get in touch with us in any of the ways we just mentioned. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and otherwise, leave us a review on iTunes. That would be great, so people can find us and people can also listen to us. Would be really nice. And thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.